The college football experience, Eastern Michigan Eagles 2025 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost. Yes, the bank account that is built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN and get a free Refs Are Terrorists t-shirt. Claim your free shirt today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Martin Cleese, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Eastern Michigan Eagles 2025 season preview. And look, youtube.com/the college experience as we break them all down. 136 episodes for 136 teams. And we are into the 120s right now. All right. So you're getting, if you're an EMU fan, you're getting it early on. Now, I couldn't find my EMU shirt, but hang on. I do have this beautiful Charlie Batch Eastern Michigan starting lineup there. So let's channel that. I got it. I'm putting it here. I'm putting it right here. All right. Can't see it though. You can't see it. So, I mean, whatever. It's for good luck for the EMU folks out there. But yes, hop on over there, youtube.com/the college experience. I highly recommend watching the show as opposed to listening to it, but listening's still fine as well. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swig at Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
He's the kind of guy that would drink a gallon of gasoline so he could piss in your campfire. You could drop this guy off at the Arctic Circle wearing a pair of bikini underwear without his toothbrush, and tomorrow afternoon he's going to show up at your poolside with $1 million smile and a fistful of pesos.
I'll show up at the factory with the $1 million smile and a fistful of pesos. Love the factory there, right near Sun Stadium, Ypsilanti, Michigan. And it's an exciting time, I think, to be an EMU fan. I'm here for it. Here for it all. They've been my MAC team. Hey, Mac, they've been my MAC team for a while. All right. As you well know on the college basketball front, subscribe to the college basketball experience as well, folks. I am joined by my co-host. He is the host of the college basketball experience with myself. Give it up for Farmer, Stafford, Austin Peay with the Governors, South Carolina with the Gamecocks, West Virginia with the Mountaineers, Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Moneyline Mac. How are you, brother?
Doing good, man. Yes, love me some EMU. Let's talk some Eastern Michigan football. Coach Creighton, let's go.
Let's go.
Come on, make it Mac tonight.
And I mean, it's an exciting time, I think. I know that they offered Charlie Batch and the collective offered Caleb Williams when he was transferring out of Oklahoma like $1 million to come to EMU. Now, he probably got paid more than that and went to USC, but still, that tells me Chris Creighton's got these folks believing. Let's go. This is a program that I really do care about. They're my MAC school. All right. I root for them in the MAC each and every year. And with good reason, because I am a Chris Creighton guy through and through. And I'm just going to load up the slides right now. YouTube.com/the college experience. Chris Creighton. Last year was disappointing in 5-7, but the year prior, 6-7 bowl. The year before that, 9-4 bowl. But the guy is, I think, one of the best coaches in college football. Now, no national ranking show will ever have him in the top 25, which is just a fucking joke. This is a guy. Eastern Michigan didn't go bowling for like what? I think they had 1 year in like 88 or 89.
Yes.
Against San Jose State. I watched that bowl. and since then, all the way until hiring Chris Creighton, they were just fucking terrible. And he comes in and he's got sputters in year 1, sputters in year 2. But gets it going. And by the way, his offensive coordinator was a guy named Kalen DeBoer. He was the first guy to give Kalen DeBoer that job, by the way, in a Power 5 school. So, he has wins at Rutgers, Big Ten. He's got wins at Illinois, Big Ten. He's got wins at Purdue, Big Ten. Wins at Arizona State. I mean, the guy that got Herm Edwards fired, essentially. And they've had they are always better than their talent, and that speaks to his coaching. I think he's a top. Honestly, I think he's a top 15, top 20 coach in America. How about you?
Yeah, he's a great coach. It's I know it's like the record isn't as sexy as some people wanted to believe or see, but you laid out the track record. I mean, limited bowl appearances. The like 3 years prior to him getting there, they were 1-11, 2-10, 2-10. They never won more than like 4 games outside of like 1 or 2 years before he got there, and he's been able to flip it. And for the most part, get to a bowl game at least every single year. So to your point, he maximizes what he has. One thing about Eastern Michigan, yeah, they may not have the most talent, but you know they're going to overachieve what they have on that roster, and they've won bye games, and that's another testament to getting his guys ready to play and finding a way to overachieve year in and year out. And I mean, the best year was him getting to the MAC championship in 22. So maybe they can get back there one of these years with some money.
Yes, and one of the things I loved is like that because they were always known as like the shitty team in the MAC for a while there when I was growing up. They got Maxx Crosby Field now, right? He donated a large sum of money, and they got rid of the track, which I was saying forever. Like, you know, all these college football stadiums, like even Ohio State Stadium used to have that track around it when I was watching them in the 90s. They got rid of that, which I think is a step in the right direction. And, they hired him as general manager this offseason, Maxx Crosby. And that's another testament to Chris Creighton, developing talent so that you can get guys to the NFL that are, I think he's the highest paid D lineman in the league. So then you start to get that return, people helping out, trying to get the program to where it should be. I think that's another element of this. When you factor in like long-term building, Chris Creighton can develop talent. And when you develop talent, you never know what that will happen on the next level. And on the next level, if they achieve, they're more than likely going to give back to the program, which is how you build up that program. But he is the general manager, and it has me intrigued. To me, if you're going out, okay, you might not be able to get the starting defensive end at Ohio State or something like that. But to me, if you're battling out for a 3-star, or a transfer from, I don't know, NC State or, UVA that's got some talent that could play in the league, and, well, I don't know, I might go to Eastern Michigan, I might go to Coastal Carolina, I might go to Fresno State, and then, Louisiana's in there. But if Maxx Crosby calls you, you're going to fucking listen to that one. Maybe a little more, a little more than the other guys and say, you know what, maybe I should go get schooled by arguably the best defensive end in the NFL. So what do you mean? Like, how much does this mean, or is this just headlines?
I think a little bit of both, but I think you're absolutely right in terms of having a guy that's arguably the best in the world at his position. And it's not like he played there like 20 years ago, like Big Ben did at Miami of Ohio. He graduated in 2019. He was a part of the rebuild, and he also can just sell the MAC as a whole. I'm looking it up right now. There's 60 MAC players on NFL rosters, or that was as of last year, that made the initial NFL roster. So it feels like the MAC always has these under the radar guys, and Crosby was one of them. And just having him as an ambassador, as an ally, could definitely help in this NIL portal era where it doesn't really matter where you go as long as you get paid and you get to the next level.
Yeah, and I mean, another thing is those numbers might be higher if you factor in the transfers.
Yeah,
like you've had. I mean, Nick Saban was on the NFL draft coverage, not this year, but last year, saying we tried to buy this Toledo corner and he stayed, and he went in the NFL draft. So I mean, for every one of those, there's one that someone's getting bought. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see what he can do. And to be honest, I don't know if this is him directly, but I kind of feel like, so each year over the past 3 or 4 years, I feel like they got fucked up in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
And you can make a case they did this year. But I think this year they actually bit back. And I don't know if that's a testament to Maxx Crosby being a GM or what, but I actually think they were, they took some hits. A couple starting offensive linemen dipped out, but at the same time, they went out and got some big acquisitions, I think, that could really help this team this year. We're going to dive into it and talk about the offense, defense from a season ago. But before we do that, I want to let you know you are listening to the College Football Experience, Eastern Michigan season preview. We are part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Get all of your free picks and podcasts for the Stanley Cup, College Baseball World Series, NBA Finals, UFL Playoffs, CFL, all on the SGPN app. Get it wherever you get your apps. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride. All right, we are back, and let's jump into the offense. That was once Kalen DeBoer's under Chris Creighton, and Creighton's such a good coach. I feel like these numbers are pretty respectable considering they were 5-7. Scoring offense 83rd in the nation, passing offense 57th, rush offense 85th, total offense 76th from Mike Piatowski. I almost feel like you rattle off these numbers and you're like, they should have been a bowl team. And that's another thing, I guess, going back to Chris Creighton. When they lose, man, with the exception of the occasional time they schedule, like, I don't know, like a super big time Power 5 where they do struggle, but they stay in as an EMU fan, I think you should be very happy with Chris Creighton. Yes, you haven't got the MAC championship yet, but you've gotten there. If you can get that, obviously I think it might change because some people might, a longer tenure. I think some people say, hey, we should probably move. I don't think that's the case here. I think you should be very happy with what you got because even when you lose in a 5-7 season or the COVID year, which they were much better than their record, if you watch the games, he's remarkable in a way of staying in games. I did the math. And since 31 games, this is not including his first 2 years where they were terrible. 31 of his losses are by one score or less. Now you could say, well, he should win those games. No, when you're Eastern Michigan that lack the resources, because trust me, he has 28 wins by one score as well. So, but I just think it's a testament to when they do play Toledo. I mean, I went through and counted all these. I mean, look at this. Like they lose to Toledo by 1, Toledo by 3. Ugh. They did beat Toledo too, but Toledo by 3 again. That's the most resourced team in the conference. So like to get them in that mix where they're right there. And last year's Toledo game was disgusting. Like they had no business losing that thing. But
bowl game.
Yeah, they had no business losing that thing. But I think it's a testament to the coaching staff. And to me, I know some people say, well, you're still losing those games, but I don't care. Eastern Michigan 10, 15 years ago was losing like 70-0. Right? You're playing everybody within a 1-score game. And I think that can build excitement. And also that means to me that you're due for a breakthrough year one of these years where the balls bounce and you do have a 9-10 win season. I know you had one 3 years ago, but it will start to come more frequently. What do you make of these offensive numbers?
I think you hit it on the head with a lot of your points. Is the 22 season they won all those 1-score games. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They had 6 1-score wins that year compared to last year where they just didn't finish those games. The Toledo loss, the Akron loss, the Western Michigan loss. I mean, the only games that they really got drilled in the MAC were Ohio and Miami of Ohio. Both teams played for the MAC championship and were much better. So, yeah, I those numbers would say that they probably should have been around a 6-win team, but they just weren't able to finish games. So we'll see if they can take a step forward here and get on the right side of some of these one-score games.
Yeah, well, I can tell you one thing I do like is, actually, before I jump to that, I guess 4 returning starters, and I know you can make a case with it only being 3, but Dontae McMillan was penciled in to be a starter. He was injured early on at the running back spot. He's back this year. Terry Lockett's a really good wideout, and only 2 of 5 back on the O-line. I hit on this. Two of their starters did hit the portal. Another graduated, but they also get back Porter Rooks, who's a former NC State wide receiver, who's back. He was out for the season last year. I do expect him to start, but he didn't play at all for him last year. He's a 6th-year wideout. And then, to me, going out in the portal, man, Noah Kim was a guy that I was somewhat impressed with at times at Michigan State / Coastal Carolina. They also brought in quarterback Cameron Edge from Maryland. I know they also have Jeremiah Salem. That's a guy. So they have 3 quarterbacks that I think feel decent about. They also bring in Dunlap from Michigan, a running back there from Michigan. Also James Joyner from Liberty. Joyner played a little bit with the Flamin' Libs there. Wide receiver Petey Tucker comes in from Georgia State. Tight end Nick Harris from UConn. Tight end Everett Hunter from New Mexico, and tight end Tanner DeMaster from Kentucky, who's on the schedule this year. And let's not forget that they added on the O-line. This is what I mean. They kind of bit back this year. Offensive tackle Gabriel Arnold coming in from Western Kentucky. Adam Boraye, I don't know, from Pitt. Coming in, offensive lineman Spencer Webb from North Carolina A&T coming in. Long snapper Jack Kotz from Missouri coming in. Kicker Nathan Dibbert from LSU coming in. This is all in the offense / special teams. I think they bit back a little bit. And you add in, to me, I look at the offense, and me personally, I think Noah Kim will start. And I think he's a pretty good quarterback. I think it's the best quarterback EMU's had in a little bit. And when you mix him with the backfield and a couple of those wideouts, especially Lockett returning, but also, like I said, the kid from NC State, Porter Rooks, I obviously the O-line losing 2 guys to the portal, but if these guys hit on the O-line, I kind of like the talent on the offensive side of the ball at the skill position players.
Same, and I like the 1-2 duo in the backfield with Joyner and Dunlap. I think that they're going to be able to provide a spark here. I mean, Dunlap was a 4-year player at Michigan.
And McMillan. Remember, McMillan was out all last year. I think he'll be in that mix too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they got depth in the backfield. I think it's going to be a good balance. You mentioned it. Kim has played in spots here at Coastal and for Sparty as well. So I think giving him the keys and really running with it, if they can protect, I think this offense could definitely take a step forward and get them back to a bowl game. Yeah,
I kind of think, and Lockett and Kim, by the way, were both at Michigan State at the same time, so they have a little bit of a connection there. Yeah, I kind of think this is I like to see them this aggressive in the portal. The past couple of years, I feel like they were just getting annihilated in the portal with their best players leaving. On the defensive side of the ball, well, first, there's Noah Kim, 13 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. And there's Terry Lockett, which, by the way, is a wide receiver. I fucked up that slide. But the defense, man, from EMU with Ben Needham, they were 86th in scoring defense a season ago, 70th in pass defense, 90th in rush defense, total defense at 83rd. Okay, it's not terrible numbers considering 5 and 7. Considering you didn't go bowling. However, you'd like to see this thing take a step up. If they want to compete for a MAC championship, you probably want to be at least in that 50-60 range. What do you make of these numbers?
Yeah, disappointing year, I think would be the way to describe it. But I think that they'll bounce back. They he's been with Creighton for almost a decade now. So there's a lot of continuity on this staff, and that's one of the pros of Eastern Michigan and Chris Creighton's tenure. So we'll talk about what they added, what they got coming back, but those numbers do need to take a step forward.
Yeah. Now the defensive side of the ball, they only bring back 2 starters, both in the secondary, and cornerback Dromarion McNulty and nickelback Joshua Scott. That's concerning.
Yeah, a little bit, but it wasn't a good unit, so maybe some fresh.
Yeah. Well, once again, they go out in the portal. And this is what I'm saying. I think they're more aggressive than normal. On the D line, they bring in, Chris Creighton made his name in the FCS and the D2 ranks. He attacked the FCS hard. Warren Stevens-Tayu from West Georgia with the Wolves. Makai Gilbert from Samford and Elijah Alexander from Stetson. All 3 coming in on the D line. Linebacking core, Carter Harriman from Miami, Ohio. Hey, there you go. They whooped your ass last year. Let's take one of theirs. All right. Linebacker Caden Bailey from Syracuse. Linebacker Marco Paterno from Elon, good FCS school. And then in the secondary, Keegan Mountain coming in from Northern State, and James Mons III from Middle Tennessee State, as well as safety Davion Williams from Charleston Southern. So Davion Williams is penciled in to be a starter. So I know they're excited about him, but and I will say that Caden Bailey from Syracuse coming in is also projected to be a starter. All right, this is a little bit more of a mystery. I feel pretty good about the offense, but the defense, we'll see. But to me, if you can just improve a little bit there. And another thing is, you got to think with Tim Albin leaving Ohio and with the experience of Miami, Ohio, a lot of those players graduated. So the conference might be a little bit worse than, say, a year ago. So more opportunity for Eastern Michigan to come up. Do you think the defensive numbers will be better than last season?
I do, and I know it's a lot of mystery right now, and it may take a game or 2 for them to mesh. But sometimes, man, when you get guys in the portal, they come in with the chip on their shoulder to prove themselves. They needed a little bit of a revamp on that defensive side because the unit last year wasn't good enough. So it's going to be interesting to see how they mesh. But I'll trust Needham's track record here to get these guys playing well.
Yeah. I feel better about the offense and the defense, but I still think they're probably going to improve because I think the top of the conference went down. So, folks, want to tell you that the college football experience, Eastern Michigan style, is brought to you by Edge Boost, the first ever bank account that is built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are improved. No usage fees, no minimums, no credit check. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN. And look, it's the last week to sign up and get a free Refs or Terrorist t-shirt. So what are you doing? Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs to claim your free shirt today. We're also brought to you by Circa, the Circa Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, biggest sports book in the world. And they have an ultimate fantasy football giveaway they're doing where they're basically for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for the entire stay. You'll get a limo ride from the airport, a $5,000 food and beverage tab at the legendary Stadium Swim, and a hotel stay for you and your 11 league mates. You got to check it out. There's also some other bar inclusives there as well. And you can also get 15% off all the Circa properties with the promo code SGP15. But what are you doing? Enter the Ultimate Fantasy Football Contest for free. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. That's CIRCA at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. All right, we are back. And we will take a look here. Oh, part of the state of the program thing that we do for all these 136 teams is we take a look at which direction the program's going and also the stadium, because I think that goes hand in hand. And here we are, Rynearson Stadium, the factory they call it, 56 years young, used to be the home to the Detroit Wheels back in the 70s. This is one that I've been saying, Mac, that the UFL team should be playing at instead of that filthy Ford Field. Stadium ranking, I give it as a 7 of 10. So if you look at this thing, Crosby Field has just been added to it over the past year, right? This is the track covered up, and I think it makes it look way different, way better. A lot of stadiums have done this over the past 20, 25 years, is get rid of the track, and I think it helps a lot. The gray turf, some people hate it. I love it because I feel like you're watching like an Army Navy game from 1940.
Yes.
But I think it's a nice stadium, man. I think it's one of the better in the great state of Michigan. So and you see they got the factory. Look at that. They come out, they knock over some damn cinder blocks. I mean, they got a fucking eagle on the sidelines flying around. What do you make of this stadium, man? Because I love this stadium.
It's unique. Yeah, I'll give it a 7 as well, just because I do like the gray turf. Action on Tuesday night, you turn on the TV, it's like, why is this fucking turf gray? But hey, it's your identity, it's your brand, and let's go. So I'll give it a 7 as well. I think that's accurate. It's not the biggest stadium. I mean, what's the capacity on this thing? Probably what, 25?
Yeah, I mean, they shouldn't go much past that, but because you're in Ypsilanti.
30. Yeah, they should downsize it to like 10.
No, I think like you're don't go past 30, but somewhere between 20 and 30, you're fine.
Yeah.
And that's, you see the old track there, but I mean, yeah, I think it's a cool stadium, man. I think the upgrades that Maxx Crosby's added into this is helping it build the culture at EMU, and I think it's unique. You know, when you're watching Eastern Michigan football, gives it personality. And yeah, I think it's a bright future. Love the band. College football, you got to have a band. That's part of the element of what makes college football so great. State of the program. This one was tricky to me, but I thought, hey man, Maxx Crosby just threw in a bunch of money to the football field, the stadium. He's now the general manager. You have, to me, an elite coach within the conference. I have to like respect those things right there and think, and if the Charlie Batch and NIL collective that he was a part of offering $1 million to Caleb Williams, I think tells me that they're willing to be one of the top teams in the MAC. So I'm going to say 7 of 10. How about you?
I think 7's accurate. Yeah, they're coming off maybe their not worst year, but one of their down years. Losers of 5 in a row to end the year. So headed in the wrong direction coming off the season, but they're investing more into their program, and they have one of the best coaches in the MAC. So I think 7's accurate. You got a lot of collision between how they finish and then where they're going.
Yeah, and I thought the fact they struck back into the portal this year too, I think they're much better portal year than the previous couple of years, tells me that not only if we're going to lose some talent, we're going to go out and we're going to get some talent. Which I think tells me something too about the program there. So 7 of 10. Let's go. The schedule. Here we go. Week 1, San Marcos, Texas. In a series that goes back to 2021. They're going to lose this game.
This is a tough one here.
But who does Texas State have week 2?
Is this a return game, by the way? Trying to remember.
I think they've played a couple times, right?
Yeah. They have at UTSA, so it is a little bit of a look
that's the battle of not I-75, but whatever that's a huge rivalry game. So you are catching yes, you are catching Texas State in kind of a look ahead spot. I know it's a season opener. So you could say, how could they look ahead of the season opener? Well, I mean, that UTSA rivalry with Texas State, that goes for all sports. That is a big time rivalry for both those schools. I'm still taking Texas State, man.
Me too. They're good. Kenny's a good coach.
Good home environment too.
Yeah, it's hard to say it's a look ahead when it's week 1. You know, I mean, and it's prime time. You're going to be on cloud 9 for this next game.
Oh yeah. Week 2, the Long Island fucking Sharks are coming into Ypsilanti. They're done with that fucking bullshit up in New York City. They said, let's turn back the clocks and go to a goddamn gray and white field. All right. Unfortunately, Eastern Michigan's going to win this game because Trent Green's son, who was playing for Long Island, I believe last season or the year before or the year prior, he graduated. EMU wins this one, but am I gonna love watching this game? You're damn right I am. My boys, all right. Watch out! You don't want to swim with the sharks. All right, come on, Hurons. 1-1. What are you doing here?
Rod Strickland's coaching this team. Yeah, I'm taking EMU. You need this game on the hardwood in the winter. You need this game home and home. Your two squad. You'd be like a proud father watching these two go at it.
I would. I mean, exactly. I mean, this is like my game right here, man. This is. If someone asked me what's the game you're anticipating, like you're most excited to see in 2025 college football, and I was like, after Long Island, Eastern Michigan. I mean, there's a few other ones, but after Long Island and Michigan, we both got them 1-1. Then they take a trip to Lexington to take on Kentucky. The last time they played at Kentucky, they lost by 4, and they had them on the ropes, dude. They fucking had them on the ropes. This series goes back to 2017. I mean, this is dangerous to me. Kentucky's they're in a weird state. Stoops took the A&M job, then didn't get the A&M job. They came back to Kentucky. It seems like fans are somewhat kind of pissed at him. People are talking retirement. I still have to take Kentucky, but I kind of expect this to be a game a little bit.
Yeah. How about the scheduling spot? So Kentucky, and they did this last year, they have an SEC game week 2, Ole Miss at home, and then they go to South Carolina in week 4. So this is like a sandwich spot where EMU's catching them. Oh, man. I know when we get to it, I'll be on the points. This might be a 4-point game again. I'll take Kentucky to win, but it would not shock me if Eastern Michigan shocked or beat Kentucky.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say I think they have the better quarterback. We'll see. Zach Calzada is coming in from the FCS ranks to play at Kentucky. Calzada's all right, but I think Noah Kim might be better. Jumping to the next game. We already previewed Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns. You took the Raging Cajuns. Me, I said back-to-back away for Louisiana. They're at Missouri the week prior. Then they got to go to the factory. Not so fast. Eastern Michigan, to me, gets that second win of the season. What are you doing here? I mean, I know what you're doing, but are you going to change your
Kentucky pick?
Yeah.
I kind of want to give them the Kentucky win, the stunner here. Give me them to beat Kentucky, then come back home and lose to Louisiana. I'll bet a dick. Let's go.
All right, so we both got them at 2-2. Then we both got them.
Let's go.
We both got them.
Yeah.
Then out of that, they have a rivalry game. They go to Mount Pleasant, but Central Michigan is breaking in a brand new head coach. This series goes back to 1902. Love this game, and I actually think this is a great spot to get Central Michigan early. You're still in September, I think you're still in September or the first week of October. You want to face first year coaches on the front half of the season, not the back half. Eastern Michigan goes into Mount Pleasant and gets that dub. 3-2.
I'll give them 3-2 as well. I agree with you. I like the experience of Creighton against a first-year head coach in his first MAC game.
There we go. Then they head to Buffalo to take on. They're heading up to Lambeau Field. Pete Lambeau did a great job in year 1 as the head coach of the Buffalo Bulls. The Blue Bulls, nothing like a case of Blue Bulls. And I, unfortunately, since I gave them a rivalry win, back-to-back away, you go to UB Stadium. I do think they're capable of winning this, but I'm going to take Buffalo to get this done. Give me 3-3.
Yeah, I'll have them split the back-to-back roads. Win at Central, lose at Buffalo, 3-3.
Then after that, they are hosting Northern Illinois, and man, this series goes back quite a ways. I mean, they play Northern Illinois really good. I was going through those close losses. I feel like of their 31 one-score losses, half these things are Northern Illinois by 3. Northern Illinois, it seems like, finds a way to win majority of these. But Give me a win. Give me a win for EMU, right? Give me that win. Give me a 4-3. Northern Illinois got that. Who do they got the week before? Who do they got the week before?
They got Miami of Ohio at home.
Oh, that's a great spot then.
Yeah.
Great spot. EMU gets their 4th win of the season right here. What are you doing here?
I agree. I got Eastern Michigan at home. I like I said, I think they're going to protect home field this year.
Then that sets us up. So 4-3, and then they head to Oxford, Ohio. They will not win this game. One of the Daquan Finn, who was formerly Toledo's quarterback, left for Baylor last year, and then he started a game or two at Baylor, lost the quarterback battle, and now he's a starting quarterback at Miami, Ohio. I got Chuck Martin's squad getting this done, so that is a loss for EMU. What are you doing here?
Same, yeah. I got him dropping this one. So 4-4, headed into the stretch run here. And how many MAC losses? 2. So they would pretty much have to run the table if they had any chance of getting back to that MAC championship headed into November.
Yeah, and shout out to Rob Donaldson. Makes a great point that Northern Illinois, not Northern Iowa, heading to the Mountain West next year. So it kind of puts a bullseye on them. So I like it even more, that upset. But yeah, heading into the bye week. Well, actually, there's one more game heading into before they head into the bye week. The Ohio Bobcats, who lost Tim Albin and a lot. And this is one that I like, man. I think EMU is going to win this one because Ohio's in a rebuild. They lost a lot of production. Now, I did like the hire, staying with the guy, part of Auburn's staff, the OC there, with Smith. But I think Eastern Michigan gets them here, and they head into I believe they got a bye week next. What are you doing here?
I went back and forth on this one. I'll go Ohio just because I think I know it's first year head coach, but it's late in October, and I trust the culture of their program to start having it going. So I got them 4-5. And real quick, as we head into November, they only have one Tuesday night game the whole year. They're on Saturday the whole year.
Weird.
What the hell?
I don't know why.
Action.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't tell you why. Maybe that's just this team. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, we head into the bye week. So I got them with a winning record here. And we'll see how they do on the backside of the schedule here. But before we get to the rest of the games here, I do want to let the good people know that the college football experience, Eastern Michigan Eagle Styles, brought to you by Rhythm. Yes, you've heard me talk about Rhythm before, most likely. And they just dropped a new game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's models had consistently won and has a high ROI. Think a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm and Rhythm only. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. So what are you doing? Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. Also, get your free 7-day trial period. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Yes, MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including the NBA Finals and NHL Stanley Cup. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations as well. You can easily deposit and get lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head on over to MyBookie.ag. Use our promo code TCESGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Once again, terms and conditions apply. That's MyBookie.ag. Promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back. I got EMU at 5 wins, first bye. Right?
Yeah.
5 wins, I believe. Yeah, 5-4, right? Then Eddie George and Bowling Green are coming into the factory in a series that goes back over 100 years, 1919. I like the Eddie George hire at Bowling Green, but they hired him late into the offseason. So I think EMU's got a little bit of a leg up here. I'm going to get EMU. Give me another win, Bowling.
I got EMU as well. So I got them 5-5 headed into the last one. I like them off a bye here. Creighton with extra prep.
Then they head to Muncie, Indiana. Not going to get Muncie out in the middle of nowhere. Breaking in another new head coach there. Ball State is, and that's why I like Eastern Michigan. This is a series that goes back to 1936. I did like the hire by Ball State, but I just don't know what to expect in year one. I think EMU's got a leg up. Give me a 7th win.
Same. I like another win here as well. They're playing well coming down the stretch here, headed into the finale against Western.
Yes, and they get another bye week there. And you got to like having the bye week. As then they host Western Michigan and Lance Taylor. Let me ask you this. For me, I know you have Ohio beating them. For me, if they win this, I think there's a shot there in the MAC championship.
Yeah.
Series goes back to 1906. This is college football right here. Through and through. I kind of think Western's going to get them, though. I like – see, with it being at the factory, I'm a little bit like – I think Western's better this year, roster-wise. But it's a home game for me at EMU, a rivalry game, and a MAC championship on the line, potentially. I still think I'm taking Western. What are you doing here?
I'm going to take Eastern. I'm going to have them getting their revenge. How many have they lost to Western now in a row? Just 2. So they've lost the last 2 years. I think they get back here in the rivalry. So I got them finishing 7-5. Good, a good bounce back. They're 5-7 last year. They get back to a bowl game. I don't have them get into the MAC championship, but I mean, if you flip that Ohio game in my script, they'd be right there.
I was about to say, like, they might be in the MAC championship for me. I think will matter on tiebreakers, but I actually think Western might be in the mix. So this is such a huge game. Either way, my losses were Texas State, Kentucky, Buffalo, and Miami, Ohio, and then Western. So I have them at 7-5 as well, but I think they very well could be 8-4. They play a lot of one-score games, so it could be 5. I'd say anywhere between 5 and 7. What's best case scenario?
I mean, I gave that was my big upset pick was the Kentucky one. Best case 8-4. I can't really see 9-3. Can you?
I could if they beat Western. If they beat Western, I could see it. Because I actually think that Buffalo lost a lot from a season ago. I think that game is actually winnable. The only games I've like probability, obviously Kentucky would be the one that I feel like is least likely. Yeah. Second to me would be Miami, Ohio, or Texas State. Those are the 3 that I feel like odds are stacked against them to actually get that. Now, I do think the Buffalo game, they could win. I do think the Western Michigan game, they could win. So I'm going to say their ceiling's 9 wins. The floor would be if you start off losing to Texas State and you lose to Kentucky and lose to Louisiana and you're 1-3.
Yeah.
Then you go to a back-to-back road. You want to talk about a disaster. You could be 1-5, but I think he's too good of a coach for that. But
4-8 is probably the floor.
Yeah, 4-8, 5-7, but I still think he's too good. I think 5-7 is the floor. But let's take a look at this because I think you look at to me the win total is 4.5.
Oh man, what?
Yeah. It's at like -105 too. I'm gonna lock up the over here. I feel very good about over 4.5 wins. And Mac, I think I'm gonna sprinkle plus 3,000 to win the MAC too, because okay, like if you're looking at the schedule, and they're plus 30,000 to make the CFP. But if you're looking at the schedule, like you would like to see Kent State and Akron on here.
Yeah,
sure. Like, but they still got
and UMass.
Yeah, obviously, but they still got Ball State with a brand new head coach, Bowling Green with a brand new head coach, Central Michigan with a brand new head coach. That is nice to me, considering you didn't get Kent State, Akron, or UMass. I do expect Western to be a bowl team. I would assume Ohio will probably be in the mix. Miami, Ohio, definitely. Northern Illinois, definitely. Buffalo, probably as well. But you don't play Toledo. spends the most in the conference year after year. That's a nice break. So what? They missed Akron, Kent State, UMass, Toledo. Yeah, it's still you'd like to get some of those, but I'm all over. Like, we haven't given out that many locks yet. I think I locked a couple. This will, I think, be the third lock.
It's my fourth one.
Yeah. Lock up to me the over 4.5 wins with Eastern Michigan and get it in right now at -105 before those numbers change. I like sprinkling plus 3,000 to win the MAC. I think there's a path still for them to get there. I think that key game, the Buffalo game and the Western game, but fascinated to see what they can do. You're locking up the over, I take it?
Yeah. I mean, if I haven't finished in 7-5, I mean, even if I gave back the Kentucky game, I got them at 6-6 at least. So yeah, and I agree with Rob. I wish if you can find a reach the MAC championship, I like that too.
Hang on though, because look, I remember it's at the MAC championship's at Ford Field. Ypsilanti is right by Ford Field.
Stupid ass stadium.
If they got, I know Ford Field's trash, but this is a team that should have beat Pitt, and they lost to Pitt by 4 at Ford Field, and that's all because of an ejection. They were better that day. I think they would have that crowd then. They would have that crowd, which would then be intriguing. So I like sprinkling that plus 3,000 to win the MAC. Yeah, I'm locking up the over 4.5 wins. Third lock of the season. Let's go.
Let's go EMU, baby. Chris Creighton.
Yeah, can't wait to watch them, folks. And we will be back tonight talking Fresno State Bulldogs football. And we might give you another one after that. But Fresno State is next on deck. They have a new coach. My boy Jeff Tedford retired. I want to wish him the best. I know he's going into the Cal Hall of Fame. Another guy that employed Kalen DeBoer before he hit it big. But yes, we will be talking Fresno later tonight. Remember, we're breaking out all 136 teams in college football with a solo episode. YouTube.com/The College Experience. Hit that like and subscribe. Moneyline Max on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. Make sure you check out us on Twitter as well at TCE on SGPN. And don't forget the college baseball experience. Man, I mean, North Carolina just got upset by Arizona. Right now, you got Louisville, Miami in a fucking game. Love college baseball. Also, check out the college basketball experience. Yes, as I know Moneyline Mac and myself talking. I was on Hoops Peterson's podcast today talking college hoops. So let's go. Check out the college basketball experience and the FCS college football experience. All of those come together. YouTube.com/The College Experience. Also, check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. Folks, till next time, this is the Eastern Michigan 2025 season preview episode. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Celly's off, so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down. They say the Lord watches over my sins, over my head, watching hair as it thins. Over the ledge, it ain't letting me in. There's still regiments and relevance to letting me win. Win, lose or draw. You ain't prepared unless you all ready to lose it all. Losing a brawl? Yeah, that's a ride a day. Good friends know my Nina Hideaway. They came and went, but the riders stay. So it's like I won the lottery and can't be found. Until I resurface with the latest purchase. 33 and a third and 45 circles. You ain't got that shit. And I ain't 45 king. But on the beats, I've been doing my thing. I start the program and the doorbell ring. I gotta leave town to a place I can't be found. My celly's off, so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down. American dreams, lessons, and still they work. I guess the sand on the beach still was really dirt. Now I'm going home, flying over Rome at 30,000 feet. Like, damn, is that really Earth? I see the killers work on walls, familiar turf. Got a little school in graph, 101 was first. Got a little school in math, didn't really work. But put the numbers on the block and I make them hurt. Any block is my stomping ground where my people lay low so they can't be found. They don't wanna be, ain't from the crew, but I'm honorary. Liquid, soul assassin, psycho harmony. Type of armory that's more than a shield. Type of armories, DeLorean steel. Type of warriors ill. So true to my sound, but dig deep so it can't be found. My celly's off so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down.
It's the revenge of our stealth, the intelligence plane. Bomber, a manifestation of karma. The far left, low keys, let it be. Listen, whispering words of wisdom. Ghost dog breathe in the shadow of leaves. Same darkness hides criminals, crooks, and thieves. Special forces, black ops. Bad brains, fishbone, black rock. Matter of fact, Chuck Berry and James Brown. But most of the true story
can't be found.
Unchained melodies inscribed to freestyle. I rock rhyme mosaics more potent with each style. Crack the system more open with each file. Upgrades and free hotels with these miles. Expansion team dilated peoples in town. If there's a better sound, then it
can't be found. My celly's off so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down.
Language, I will tell you about it now.